Hello and welcome back. Well, it's been a long time actually, but welcome back to the Roversreports YouTube channel, and also for those who are probably going to be watching all the highlights on TikTok and whatnot. Today I'm joined by none other than the man himself. He's still here, he's still stuck around, he's looked after the page, he's done the job, he's been put in there for a reason. Who can I compare him to? You put him in his position, you put him anywhere on the pitch, and he'll do the job for you. It don't matter. It's Barney. How you doing, pal?
Yeah, the James Milner of social media, mate. You put me in any position,
I
I
like
stick it in. Oh,
that.
it's not good. It's been great, mate. It's been great. It's been good, but it's good to be back. Good to be back with you, the main man, and I'm loving. We're gonna see what happens in the future, aren't
Well, some people are going to be like, now the results are finally going your way. You're back, are you, Matt? But no, I promise you, there's been other things going on. But hey, I'll take the stick if it means it's me coming back for the results. And I don't mind that. I've had to bear loads of JDT ball. And don't get me wrong, it isn't the tactical awareness that was bad from him. It was his man management. We all know that now. It's out in the open and we can say it loud. We've known for a while, but it's out there. But Barney, let's forget about that. None of that toxic stuff. It's a new energy. There's a new energy around the club. It's a good energy, and I'm loving it. Let's talk about Preston away. Deepdale, it's always a great away day. I love Preston away. I've not been in a while. I've not been able to go to any games. I've not been able to go out to any. I've been a little couch surfer, just watching games, unfortunately, recently. But before we even get to Sunday, shall we talk about the Bristol game, Ewood? Wow. Let's talk about Yuki. Come on.
we? I think we should. I mean, this guy, seen as a replacement for Smodic, has come in and already started much better than Smodic started. If everyone remembers, when Smodic came in, we all thought a lot of money for him. He's not got up and running. Started well at Swansea, but then after that was out of the team in the under 21s. But I mean, Yuki's hit the ground running. That's all we can say. He's been incredible, and I think we've seen what he can do. But I think we'll see, the new signings, Cantwell. We'll see more of Gay. I think Koza Dewberry, who looked really bright coming on against Bristol. So I think it's good. I think the vibe around Blackburn is looking up finally. I mean, going back to last year when we were going away to Preston, we needed a result like that 2-2. We needed something from that game, but this time we're feeling like we don't need to go and just get a result. I think we can go there and get a win.
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. I think you know what, Yuki. Oh my God, I don't know what I can say about the boy. He seems like the striker we've been like missing for a while, finishing wise. I know like last year we had Schmodics and whatnot, but we also saw how much Schmodics did miss. If we had an out and out striker who was a finisher, he could have ended on 30, 35 goals quite easily, I think, last season. But Yuki's filled in and a great win against Bristol. Don't get me wrong. I think we caught them at the right time. They've not been in a good start of the season, really. I think Bristol's a team that can really devastate you on the counter when they want to, but they've lost a few players, and I think it's not really. They're trying to get a little get back to gist again with the championship. And I think we caught them the right time, and we've proven that with the squad depth we've got and the team we've got, that we can really devastate teams that have labelled themselves in the championship properly. But looking at Sunday now, Deepdale, I used to love going Preston away. I wish I could do it. I wish I could do it now. I'm going to get to some away days in London based down in Milton Keynes at the minute. But what are you thinking going into it? What's your hopes? Come on, it's a big game. I don't think it's a big rivalry as such. I think Preston fans do play on it a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's a derby, and you can't go wrong with a derby day.
No, listen, this is a Lancashire derby. Blackburn, we always see ourselves as the biggest team in Lancashire. And I think nobody can really argue with that. I mean, it is true, we are. But you want to go away to these places. If you need a good season, you need to go away and beat your rivals. You need to get these points on the road. And I think with this strong, like this squad we've got going into this game, no injuries, looking very healthy. Fingers crossed that nobody's going to get injured in the warm up or something. But we look good, and Preston they don't look as like not strong per se, but they don't look as like fortified, if you know what I mean. With Lowe last season, Ryan Lowe, they had, they've always been getting top half finishes. They're hard to break down, and I think with Peckinbottom, they started okay. They got that good win against Luton. They had a good draw against Middlesbrough, I think it was, and then they beat the Fulham in the Carabao. But I think we could say that we're definitely going in with better form, definitely going in with better performances, and I think we might just get it.
think it's been one of them stories at Deepdale, and where it definitely always goes one way or another. And when I say that, obviously people can be like, obviously goes one way or another, but it's either one team gets battered or the other, and that's what I love about it. Everyone leaves everything on the line at Deepdale, and I think you're right, to be honest with you. There's not much more I can really say on that. I think form wise we've been so good. Obviously that Blackpool game is a bit of an anomaly in it all, but I just with the depth we've got now, and I'll always come back to that squad depth so much now. I love it. I've not seen it in such a long time. Being able to have so many different players playing a certain role. I think maybe Todd Cantwell, a debut for him might be nice at Deepdale. Something to really make him realise that this is what you're in now. He's got a bit of an attitude problem wherever he's gone, but if you chuck him in there at the deep end, he'll realise what it means to play like for Blackburn Rovers. And I think
Mm.
we can only look at that Burnley game and it looks like people want to play for the badge now, and we've not seen that for a long time. We've seen us concede and we've seen heads go down. But Barney, that Burnley game, surely coming into this Preston game, it gives you so much more hope than you would have before.
It really does. I think it's. I mean, it's the first time in my lifetime I can remember watching Blackburn and being like, "Wow, we've gone away to Burnley, we got a result, like we've done well." And I think the squad of like what you're talking about says so much. I think there's going to be a few disappointed players in Preston because a few of them aren't even going to get in the matchday squad. I don't think. I don't think there's room for a player like Leonard, maybe even somebody like Sigurdsson to feature. These players who have Leonard's coming back from injury. We all rate him highly. We all want him to do well. Sigurdsson got the winning goal against Oxford. Like these players are very good, and we need to include them, but we just can't. I mean, the squad looks so healthy, and I really think if somebody like Cantwell, who of course everybody remembers for playing for Norwich in the Premier League and almost was sold to Arsenal for 35 million only 4 years ago. Like this is recent. This is very recent. Now he's playing for us in Blackburn. You just want to see what he can do. And I really hope that it'd be like a start for him, maybe this Preston, but I don't think he will. I think he'll come on off the bench. I think it's a really strong squad, and I think we just might have the opportunity, seeing how we played so well against them. We probably could have got the win. Dolan's goal isn't disallowed, but they defended incredibly after Gay was sent off. And I think if we have if we have all 11 men out there, I think we turn them over.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I want to know from you really is going into this game against Preston, we've had so many impressive performances in the attack all over the place. Who's your definite starters? Who is that? What is that front line for you, and what's it saying?
Well, he seems Johnny just seems to be playing Dolan in behind the striker, whoever it is, it's Yuki or Gay. And I think Dolan's got to start. I mean, he's always had these critiques, people saying that he doesn't produce enough, but I think he's been really good recently. I mean, he got the opening goal on the first day. He looked very, very involved in every attack we've had since then. When he's on the pitch, he drives forward. Got the assist for Yuki's first against Bristol. Good drive, and I think he's definitely got to start. I think Yuki's got to start. I mean, this Japanese lad has come in from the J1, and you think there's always that question about when somebody comes from abroad, can he do it? Can he do it in this league, especially a league that's unknown to the English, like to English supporters? Like we've never had a Japanese player in our history. I can't remember one apart from Jay Haddo from the youth, who you've got some good knowledge if you remember him. But I don't think we've never had a player like this, and for him to come in, hit the ground running, get a goal against Derby, the header against Norwich, and two against Bristol on his start, like he's looking really good. And I think he could be the difference maker. But you described him a lot as you were trying to describe him as what type of player he could be. But I always see like a bit of an Henri finish, with the first one. Like he's always cutting in and trying to bend it in, and I think that's a really good strike. And then the second one's even better. I mean, it's his weak foot, finds the top left corner. And if he can carry that form, into the year, we're looking with a real good player here.
Yeah, I think Henri, wow, that's a big player to confirm against. But I see exactly what you mean. He's always looking for that curler, isn't he? And he looks so comfortable on either foot. And I think that's something we've lacked to with a lot of players. I think sometimes there's always been a preference in foot for someone to finish with, and in certain positions you can see the confidence levels were with him. No matter where he's in the box or just on the edge of the box, he's happy to go with whatever for it. And he likes to run at defenders, and I love that. He really does drive, and I think he's got to be a starter. But you look at it and you go, he's been such a good super sub. So, where do we stand with him? Is he one of them players that is a real impact player? I mean, it's a difficult one. But for me, I agree with you. I wouldn't even change anything. I wouldn't change anything. I think Yuki comes in and that's it really. But for me, going into this weekend, right, the fans are going to be ready for it. I think we're expecting so much. Do you think this form's going to have to drop at some point, or do you think that, you know what, this form's going to carry us through this game?
Yeah, listen, I mean, every single fan wants to win. They want to beat the rivals, but we've got to all be realistic. And the form is going to drop eventually. It's got to happen. We can't. I don't think we'll carry on like saying Ipswich did last year, where they just kept winning, kept turning teams over until people realize their quality. I think people will realize our quality. I think so many predictions had us, relegation or just outside of it. But I think people will really see that John Eustace is building something here, building something, with these players that he's brought in. And, we've always been a club that has played our youth, played the youngsters, developed our young players. And I think maybe with this different approach, I mean, signings like Danny Bath and Vyman prove like John Eustace is a really good man manager, with these older players, more experienced players, and he gets so much more out of them than say, JDT will have. JDT didn't do this sort of football. It's not like what he does where he goes to a place and grinds out a result. I can't remember Blackburn doing it under him. I just can't remember. In fact, I remember Blackburn bloody throwing away some results because of John JDT and his bloody man management. But we won't get into that. We won't get into that. But it's it's so refreshing seeing like a more solid Blackburn going away, getting a point at Burnley. And I think it's going back to what you were saying about starting, there's every single player wants to start. Yuki will want to start. It's just the nature of football. So I think he's got to start. I think Hedges has looked so good, so direct. What you want from him, he's so athletic, can get past the player, very good with the ball as well, driving. And I think it's harsh on Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson, I mean, he really was a difference maker against Oxford. Really good player. But I think, a player like Vyman has to start if he's available because it's just that X factor that he brought. He's shown us. He's shown us the X factor he can bring. That consistency with his quality. I think it's just looking so strong. I mean, if you can play every player in your squad, you've got no excuses. It's got to be a good result.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, the Eustace is just he's brought a different energy around the whole club as a whole. And I think you just can't knock what he's done so far. Can we maintain it? I don't think any manager can maintain it for forever. But if we can get a strong start, we might see a form dip, but if we can then get to a certain level where we're maintaining performances like that and just getting results, draws, wins, if there's a couple of losses in between, it doesn't matter too much. We're not a team this year. How many people have seen us predicted to go down this year is unreal, right? And for us to have the start we have done, we could be talking 5, 10 games time and be like, we're already safe. We're quite fine where we are. We could go the rest of the season and be all right. But we won't get into that. We don't want to get too excited about all that just yet. But for me, we'll get to the final part now. What's your predictions? Sunday, 12 o'clock. What do you think?
I think we'll get a win. I think it'll be 2-1. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe a super sub comes on and gets the goal. I mean, we've got some late goals, turned over a few results, coming from behind. I think that really is a John Eustace trademark at this point, bringing somebody off the bench and then scoring. So I'm hoping for it. I would be like, I'm not saying that Preston are a bad team. They've got that new manager bounce. They've got two injuries. Will Keane's injured, and also one of their centre backs, Bowers, injured. But it's still a strong squad. They turned over Premier League Fulham. You got to respect them, especially in their home. But last year they turned us over at ours, and I'm kind of hoping we'll get a bit more revenge. I remember that last minute goal, and it did hurt. So I hope we can do it back.
I think Eustace is the type of manager too that he'll remind the team about that, things like that. He wants the team to have a real reason to go out there and beat them. So for me too, I think there'll be a bit more goals than that. I think it will be I can see a 3-2. I can, and I'll see it being. I think Yuki's going to score. I think when you get a player like that in from the Japanese league, and like you said, with the Japanese league, you've seen it in like the Scottish Premiership where it works well. You got Maeda at Celtic. And you think to yourself, yeah, but it's a Scottish league, it's different, a whole different kettle of fish in England. But then you see players like Yuki coming in, you go, you know what? Sometimes it doesn't work, but sometimes when it does work, it works really well. I think I can see him getting on the score sheet, and like you said, it'll be someone who comes on, or it'll be from a set piece or something like that. But I think there's still a lot to work on defensively for me personally. I think sometimes we have our little moments where you just think to yourself, we need to be better at certain things. But yeah, I think we'll get the win. I think we'll come back with 3 points. I think we'll be looking very healthy. But yeah, it sounds all good to me. I'm happy where we're at as a club, and I'm sure you are too, Barney. But yeah, I appreciate you being here. You're still here, mate. Thank you so much.
Still here, man. I'm still brushing off the cobwebs now, but it's good. It's good to be back, and hopefully we'll get some more stuff out soon. But
Yeah,
hopefully we'll turn them over. I'm really hoping for a win. Because I think this is the test. Like this is the test for the rest of the probably the rest of the year. If we get a result here, we set down a benchmark, saying we can go away to these places, these hostile places. We bring our number, 6,000 Blackburn fans going down, big number, and I think with that atmosphere, I think we can turn them over.
absolutely. And you know what, like you said there, there's going to be plenty more content from this channel now. It's all going to be out there. I've got myself in a position now where I can take not full control. Barney's been doing great. I don't want to take full control back. I like the equilibrium we've got. So I'm sure there'll be a lot more content on other social media pages too. But if you guys have enjoyed, and if you want to ask us anything, there's a comment section down there. Make sure to like, subscribe, do all that rubbish. See us on other social media channels too. But yeah, Barney, thank you for being here.
No, it's always a pleasure. Thank you very much.
And hopefully we'll see you guys next time when we beat Preston North End.